friend. You're listening to Real Life Shh with Chrissy. Are you in a relationship? Do you find yourself or your partner struggling in your relationship, or are you looking for a passionate, so-called twin flame relationship? If you can relate to any of the above, make sure you listen up because this episode is for you. The trending term, twin flames, has perked many ears, especially those who are hopeless romantics. It definitely has a certain punch. A twin flame sounds hot, exciting, and appealing without even knowing exactly what twin flames are and what it entails. Many love seekers find themselves looking and yearning for their very own twin flame. So, what exactly is a twin flame? A twin flame is thought to be two souls split into two, unlike a soulmate, which is thought to be two separate souls that are very compatible, accepted, and complementary of one another. Twin flames have a tendency to mirror each other, meaning if one half is off-centered, then the other half either matches that energy or desperately tries to fix it. That energy is as if it's like their own to fix. It is a very hard task, and it takes an extreme amount of strength and stability to stay grounded and centered if your twin flame is in a disconnected state of consciousness. When I first learned that my own husband was my twin flame almost 8 years ago, before it was trending, to be honest, I wasn't that excited. I believe the thoughts that might have rolled through my head were more along the lines of, oh, that kind of sounds permanent. And frankly, at the time, well, I just experienced a deep betrayal from my twin flame, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to stay with him or not. On the lighter side, it also kind of gave me confirmation that I did pick the right life partner. Let me tell you something, though. Having a twin flame as your significant other is no walk in the park. Like most relationships, there are peaks and valleys. The valleys within a twin flame relationship, though, can cut very deep. It can become very easy to fall into a deep valley of pain cycles while letting hurtful words, actions, and thoughts pool into our brains and hearts, causing both split souls to sink even deeper within the pits of relationship hell with each other. Yeah, sounds pretty grim, huh? The trend of this trendy relationship is one half of the soul or one partner can lean into a narcissistic personality, while the other can lean into being overly empathic. Trust me when I say that both my husband and I have experienced both sides of the coin. We have experienced the pits of relationship hell, confirming that, yes, twin flames can 100% slide down that slippery slope, landing into toxic relationship behavior. So, what do you do if you find your twin flame? Well, you could sprint in the opposite direction to get as far away as possible from the doom that could be upon you and your life as you know it, which really no one would blame you for, and many would applaud you for making a logical decision to live a more simple and centered life with ease. Or you could do what we did, my husband and I, and sign up for a lifetime of big challenges and struggles and even bigger reward. However, that reward is only received if you work for it. You see, if you are lucky enough to meet and commit to a relationship with your twin flame, the other half of your soul is going to force you to look in the mirror and see some things you never noticed before or have been trying to ignore. Picture this. Picture a very dirty mirror, almost unrecognizable as a mirror. When you meet your twin flame, you start to recognize someone behind the grim and the grime spotted mirror, yourself. When this happens, you still have the choice to try to ignore what you see and even try to throw some more shade on the mirror, or do what I did in the beginning of my husband and I's relationship and dim the lights with a little bit of alcohol. If you meet, engage, and commit with your twin flame, you have a great opportunity. The opportunity to get to work by not only seeing the issues or your own reflection, but also acknowledging and working hard to remove all the dirt, the grim, and the grime. Now think of the dirt, grim, and grime as all of your personal trauma, actions, and thoughts that has been inflicted upon you or that you have even inflicted upon yourself. So if you scrub that grim and that grime from the surface of the mirror so that you may finally see a clear image of yourself, here's the kicker and one of the challenges. One partner or one half of the soul, you or your twin flame, may not feel ready to put in the hard work and clean the mirror and really see themselves just yet. Which is when the slide down into toxic relationship hell is put into place. That slide may be tempting. After all, there is something almost therapeutic and exciting about screaming your head off going down a steep slide, not knowing if you're going to make it out alive or not. And if you resist the urge to go down that slippery slope into twin flame toxic relationship hell, guess what? Something pretty amazing happens. You realize why the slope is so steep in the first place. If you or your twin flame can become balanced and centered and grounded within your relationship, you soon will be gifted the realization that you are on top of a beautiful mountain where you can see clearer. You can have a clearer perception of each other, yourself, and even the rest of the world. While this episode in particular is focused on twin flame relationships, what I'm about to tell you next can be applied to all relationships. All of these old and new trending titles, soulmates, twin flames, and so on and so on and so on, while they may be accurate and relatable in their description, and that in itself really can be 100% have some healing energy and a specific direction on how to navigate through the relationship. The truth is, and many of us know this very well, if you want to be satiated, if you want a satiated relationship, you must first start with yourself. Always. Just like our kids have the ability to trigger us into old childhood wounds that we carry ourselves, so do our partners. Beware as you start to work on yourself. No matter what relationship you are in, there's a fine line between your own thoughts, actions, feelings, and traumas and your partner's. The line can become easily blurred in a relationship, especially those relationships where we fall hard, fast, and entangled with each other. So instead of going down that steep, slippery slope into relationship hell, the next time a disagreement between you and your partner arises, instead of throwing yourself down that slope, with or without your partner, push the pause button for a moment and stay on top of the mountain individually. And if you're lucky enough, your partner may want to enjoy the view along with you in a parallel way. But if you're not, if you or your partner slips down that slope every once in a while, the ladder up to the mountaintop will always exist. And I encourage you, if it's you that is strong and stable enough to stay on top of the mountain, to then lend out a helping hand when your partner starts to make the climb back up. If you or your partner is enjoying the slide down a little bit too much than you are comfortable with, or maybe they just keep on accidentally slipping down that slope, then maybe it's an opportunity for you and them to unweave the entanglement. I know that this may sound scary, especially if you're in one of those exciting relationships with passion and excitement, or maybe you've invested a lifetime together and it sounds unimaginable to not be entangled with your love. However, when you untangle or unweave from the entanglements of the relationship, you are still connected because that is how we were designed to be. You and your loved one, your twin flame, or whatever title you want to use, will always be connected in some way. You don't have to feel entangled or trapped to be connected. You have permission to untangle, to unweave. And when you do, you will be able to see, feel, and even understand your connection with clear skies on top of that mountaintop where you belong. So stay strong, my friend. Stay grounded, stay connected on top of that mountain. And if your partner goes down, they may unintentionally or even intentionally take you down with them. Don't let them. And remember, you may always offer a helping hand. Just make sure that you are strong and connected to the divine so that you may offer that helping hand without tripping and falling down that slippery slope yourself. Now you may be asking yourself, where does she come up with these parables? Well, part of this story came to me from a vision that I had in Sedona. I got to go to a lovely retreat in Sedona and we did a meditation. And in my meditation, I saw myself along with many others on top of these mountaintops. And I saw a whole valley of people below struggling. And it was so sad. But then the greatest thing happened. People started to climb up. And those who were on top of the mountains, we were so happy and excited. And then we put out that hand, that helping hand. And somebody got up on top to join us on top of the mountain. And we all celebrated. And then my vision turned into all of us on top of the mountaintop, extending our arms out to each other as if we were connected, even though we were a whole mountaintop away from each other. But we felt connected in our souls. And it was the most beautiful vision I had. So that's where this story comes from. And also, speaking of mountaintops, I highly recommend my favorite book called The Freedom Transmissions. There you will find how I was inspired to deepen my relationship with Yeshua. And you will also find a lot more stories that you can relate to. So please take your time and dive in to this book of knowledge and enlightenment. You won't regret it. And so it is.